Hello, good morning. It's another fantastic morning here in southeast England. I've just driven into work. It's lovely. It's one of those mornings I'm just watching the sky brighten as I was driving in, watching the sun coming over the horizon. You know, makes you feel good, which is interesting really, because I haven't had a great weekend, so I wanted to talk about that and to talk about perhaps something that might help people. I don't know. Saturday was my worst day. I had just one of those bad days, you know, where I felt like there was a black cloud following me all the time. I felt quite lonely and quite scared. Yeah, one of those days. My kids and my family are out in Italy skiing with the school at the moment. Skiing used to be my life. It was something that I dreamed of taking my kids skiing, and just appears like there's something I'm not going to be able to do. My recent MRI scan came back with another minor fracture in my back. They're not sure whether it's disease related or whether it was where I fell over on the ice a few weeks ago. So yeah, I've got to be very careful. It's a bit depressing really to yeah, I'm so happy for my girls and the fact they're on holiday and they're having a great time, but when I see the pictures it depressed me on Saturday because I want to be there. I suppose it's natural, isn't it? You know, Dad wants to take his kids skiing. If he's I did 10 years in the Alps, it was my life, and yeah, this cancer stops me doing stuff like that. But I've got to try and bring myself up and look on the bright side. I spent the day on Saturday in a kind of bit of self-misery really. I never opened the curtains, I never went outside. You know, just wallowed in my own self-pity. And this black cloud just followed me around the house all day, and I didn't feel great. And I know what I should have done. Because Sunday was okay. Went for a walk with my sister, and that was absolutely beautiful. Just made me feel really good, and it just took my mind off everything. And when you have cancer, I think that you have to be so careful not to get depressed by it, because sometimes the outlook don't look good. The stage 4 cancer doesn't look good. Okay, you got to be careful you don't go down that path where this black cloud just seems to hover over, and everything you look at looks bad. I had a brief 24 hours of that over the weekend. I really realised how vulnerable I was, and this is why I'm sharing it. You know, I like to share the good stuff and the bad stuff. Really, it's the realistic. It's what's, you know, and all this stuff now is not rehearsed. It's coming out of my heart. And I don't plan what to say. It just whatever forms really. So yeah, I've got this black cloud following me around all day Saturday. My thoughts were on the wrong side, and I started feeling all these aches and pains. My hip was hurting, my back was hurting, my leg was was worse than it's been for a while, and I think this was all linked to the thoughts. I really do think that you experience your thinking. And when you go down these dark alleyways in your thoughts, in your mind, it transfers into the body. There's this definite connection, and I think Saturday really proved it. Now, if someone was perhaps talking to me about their own situation and asking me advice for that they would do, I know the simple answer that I can say would have been to put your shoes on, put your coat on, and open the front door and turn left or right, put one foot in front of the other and go for a walk, and in that walk focus on the world, focus on everything, but don't focus on how you feel with cancer. Don't focus on, try and push that to one side. Listen to the birds singing, look at the nature, watch the world go by, watch people, what they're doing, enjoying their lives, and just trying to get involved with the world and not in and come out of your mind, come out of your head, because it's in the mind where the fears live. Fears and the anxiety that lives in the mind. And so sometimes you've got to get out of that mind and distract it, because I think for us with cancer, the thoughts are perhaps much more powerful than they are with most other things, and we've got to do something about it. We can't let ourselves get depressed and go down that dark road where there's no light, which is what I felt on Saturday. I've learned something, because I've learned that should this happen again, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get out the door and walk. It doesn't matter where. It just means I've got to get out in the fresh air. I've got a lovely river just down the road for me I can walk to. There's places people can go to. You could even drive your car somewhere and just get out and walk somewhere there if you've got that ability. And you have to distract the thinking that goes with cancer. You know, you might have scans coming up, we might be desperate for results, you might have all these you know, so much going on in your mind. You just got to get out of that. And I think we really experience our thoughts. Their thoughts are so real at times to us that we experience them in our body. But like I said, I felt a bit in pain, I was aching, and the more I thought about that, the more I'm thinking, oh, my cancer's back and it's worse, and that fracture in my back is actually cancer, you know, another tumour. God, man, it's a tough ride. It's a tough ride, and you know, anyone who's going through this, boy oh boy, do we go through it. But we just have to in somehow stay strong, stand up to it, go out and say, listen, I'm leaving you in the house. I'm not dragging you around with me anymore, because you can change your thinking if you get yourself in a different environment. You can't do that when you're stuck in that environment where the thoughts come from. So if I'm at home and I'm sitting there and I'm feeling sorry for myself, it's very hard to change that thinking, because I'm in that environment and there's no one around, it's quiet, the kids aren't running around, the kids are not there, and my wife's not telling me off. All those kind of lovely family things, you know. I miss having my wife, you know, having a go at me about something. God, I miss them. You know, they're coming back Tuesday. I never thought I'd be. I think one thing that cancer's done is given me love for my family that I perhaps didn't have before. It's just incredible. And I think we just have to harness these things and expect, maybe, listen, it isn't always going to be. It's not always bad, and it's not always good, and we got to get that. We've got to learn how to cope when it's not good, and I think personally that yeah, if you can get outside, even if you can't go far, sit in the garden, do something, get some air in you, close your eyes, listen to the birds singing. You know, it just takes you into a different world, and cancer doesn't follow you down those paths. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, so whatever you're doing, you know, keep strong. This roller coaster ride, which feels like it's never ending, it really does, there's lots of good in it as well, and you just got to seek that out. You got to find what is good and hang on to it, because if you let it go the other way, it will take over, and you don't want that. So stay strong, be brave, and I'll talk to you again next week. Okay, bye bye.